أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين اللهم يسر ولا تعسر رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. In our previous lesson, we spoke about the intention of seeking knowledge. One should not seek knowledge for dunya or for worldly gain. And also, we spoke about when one is intending to seek knowledge, they should do it purposely to gain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure, to also seek knowledge so that they can clear their own ignorance, and seek knowledge so that they can help people around them. And we also said that as part of intention of seeking knowledge is for a person to have intention of showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the brain that Allah has given one. Alright? ينوي به الشكر على نعمة العقل. So the brain that Allah has blessed you with, you are learning to show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because there are people like you who are not functioning mentally. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you sound mind that you can also utilize it in seeking knowledge. And for that matter, we need to have the knowledge that will be beneficial by making good intention with it. And also, wasihatul badan. We also seek knowledge by showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the healthy body that we got. So all this, you are comparing yourself with those that are less fortunate. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you this healthy body knowledge, that is another way of thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings that He bestowed upon you. وَلَا يَنْوِي بِهِ إِقْبَالِ النَّاسِ إِلَيْهِ. Do not have the intention of seeking knowledge to take any leadership from people. We spoke about this. We gave example of the hadith of the Prophet regarding people who do things for worldly gain and what happened on the day of Qiyamah. وَلَا إِسْتِجْلَابُ الْخُطَامِ الدُّنْيَا. Do not seek knowledge also just for when any worldly gain. You want to be getting some money or whatever. All this we are talking about when it comes to the knowledge of the deen. Do not have the intention of seeking knowledge because in our community they pay the imam such and such. So let me go so that I will get that benefit. You don't need to do that. When it comes to the deen, you are doing things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't do it for any worldly pleasure. وَلَا كَرَامَةً إِنَّ السُّلْطَانِ. Do not seek knowledge also seeking for any leadership or respect from the leadership or from the king or the leader of the place where you are, the president or whoever. Don't seek knowledge for that purpose. When you are seeking knowledge, do it only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَغَيْرِهِ. And do not seek knowledge for anything else. As we made mention, we were given specific intention and we need to stick to those intentions. قال Muhammad bin Hassan rahimahullah, Muhammad the son of Hassan, may Allah have mercy on his soul, he said, لو كان الناس كلهم عبيدي. If all people on the planet, if all people can abidi are my slaves, if all people are to become my slaves, لأعتقهم وتبرأت من ولائهم. I could have freed them and free myself from being their master. Why is it so? If you got the whole world underneath you, you are a leader, they are your slaves. He said, if I could have got everything that human that are living on this world are all my slaves, I could have freed them and I free myself from being their leader. Why is it so? He said, وَذَلِكَ لِأَنَّ مَنْ وَجَدَ لَذَّةَ الْإِلْمِ وَالْعَمَلِ بِهِ. Because whoever enjoy the pleasure of having knowledge and also working towards it. We spoke about this. Knowledge is not beneficial if you don't utilize it. We heard in this evening's lecture that Quran, as it is a good book that we read and get reward, Quran imma hujjatan laka aw alayk. Quran can be an evidence for you or against you. So when you have the knowledge and you don't practice it or you don't work by the knowledge, it's of no benefit. Whoever had the knowledge, utilize the knowledge, this pleasure, the beauty, the joy that is in it. Don't want anything apart from what you are doing, because if you understand your creator and you know how to communicate with your creator, you know and you understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you are worshiping him the way he deserves to be worshipped, you will understand that the joy that is in it, as the fuqaha will say, when you come into prayer, a Muslim, when you stand in prayer, فرق قلبك من الدنيا وما فيها, clean your heart with whatever is in this dunya and dunya itself. واشتغل بمراقبة مولاك, then you concentrate in communicating with your Lord. A person who has knowledge understood that prayer and worshiping Allah is an opportunity given to them. It's not a burden, it's not a pressure, no. Because imagine a human like you, just because the person is a minister, just because the person is a president, just because the person is a prime minister, when you are given opportunity to sit with that person in a meeting, the joy, you yourself feel like you are so proud of yourself because you got that opportunity. Imagine getting that opportunity, communicating with your Lord one-on-one. So when you come to prayer, it is an opportunity to communicate with your Lord. So when you have ilm, you have knowledge, that is of benefit. That is the knowledge that you are practicalizing it. So he said that if you get the joy and the pleasure in utilizing the knowledge Allah has given you, you don't want anything that is worldly. So that is the reason why he said, if the whole world are to be my slaves, I could have freed them so that I am free from even being their master. Because when you get the joy of knowledge and utilizing it, when you get the knowledge and you are using the knowledge, whatever that people have will not be of interest to you anymore. You will not be interested in whatever anyone has. And for that matter, there's another poem that he used to confirm or to talk about, which this poem was said to be quoted from Imam Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man. He said, Man talaba al-ilma lil-ma'ad faza bifadlin min al-rashad. Whoever seek knowledge for hereafter, you seek knowledge for the sake of Allah, to be able to meet Allah, doing what Allah wants, then you have then succeeded with guidance. فَيَا خُسْرَانُ طَالِبِهِ لِنَيْلِ فَضْلٍ مِنَ الْعِبَادِ. Woe unto the lose of the person who has seeking knowledge just to please or to get worldly gain from people. Woe unto such a person. He has wasted his time for nothing. Because imagine the tiredness, the struggle in seeking knowledge, and you do it to please people instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It means you've wasted your time for nothing. And he said, even though it is okay in some instances for a person to seek knowledge to gain the pleasure of this dunya, but he made some specific more or less highlight on here. Allahumma illa idha talaba al-jah li'amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy 'anil munkar. Except when you seek this knowledge so that you can give opportunity for enjoying good and forbidding evil. If that is the purpose of seeking knowledge, then that knowledge, even though you are going to use that skill in this world, or this skill is needed in this world, that he said that is okay. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us regarding this in the Quran. When Allah said, Kuntum khayra ummah, you are the best of nation, ukhrijat linnas, that have been selected among mankind. Allah said the reason is ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar, because you enjoy good and forbid evil. So that made you the best of humankind on the earth, or that made you the best of nations that are on the surface of the earth. So if you seek knowledge, not because of any worldly gain for yourself, but to at least give opportunity for enjoying good and forbidding evil, then in this he said that is okay. Now, and he made mention also وَتَنْفِيذ الْحَقِّ, and also to implement the truth. You did that just to be able to implement the truth, then that is okay. وَإِعْزَاءِ الدِّينِ, or إِعْزَارِ الدِّينِ, or إِعْزَازِ الدِّينِ, or you did that to sustain, to give the deen some sort of power. That is the only reason why you seek the knowledge. Then in this, there's nothing wrong with that. لَا لِنَفْسِهِ وَهَوَى. You don't seek knowledge for your own personal gain or your pleasure. You don't do that. فيجوز ذلك بقدر ما يقيم به الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. As long as the purpose of seeking knowledge is to gain that opportunity to be able to establish good and forbid evil, that particular aspect in your seeking knowledge is okay. Not because of you gaining leadership, not you saw in a society where you live, there are corruption. People don't have an idea about what they do. People just follow the deen blindly, and you thought, subhanallah, let me seek knowledge so that I can benefit my people. In that, it's okay. You are not doing that for any leadership, but at least to support the deen. If you do that, then that is okay. Now, and he also made mention, وَيَنْبَغِي لِطَالِبِ الْعِلْمِ أَنْ يَتَفَكَّرْ فِي ذَلِكَ. It is very important for anyone who is seeking knowledge to ponder over this, to think about this. Why is it so? فَإِنَّهُ يَتَعَلَّمُ بِجُهْدٍ كَثِيرٍ. Because you are striving to seek knowledge is not easy. You need time. You need to practice. You need to study. You need to live wherever you do and go for study. Remember all this. Maybe sometimes you need to skip work, or coming from work, you're rushing, whatever. There are a lot of challenges in your life, and you need to go through all this. You squeeze time to go and study. So this striving, they are all hardship. So he is encouraging you or advising you. فَلَا يَصْرِفْهُ إِلَى الدُّنْيَا. Do not waste this energy and time for worldly gain. Why is it so? Because this dunya, حَقِيرَةٌ قَلِيلَةٌ الْفَانِيَةٌ. Because this dunya, you see, is worthless. It's not anything, and it's going to finish one day. So why will you waste your time in this? And he made mention of this by referring to that poem that is saying, هي الدنيا أقل من القليل وعاشقها أذل من الذليل تصم بسحرها قوما وطعما فهم متحيرون بلا دليل. He made mention, this dunya that you want to waste your time and energy to seek knowledge for its pleasure. What is the dunya? He said, هي الدنيا أقل من القليل. The dunya is the small of the smallest. وَعَاشِقُهَا أَذَلُّ مِنَ الذَّلِيلِ. For indeed, the one who loves the dunya, the one who engages in the dunya, the one who does things for this sake of this dunya, indeed is one of the humiliated person that you can think of. Because following dunya, you humiliate yourself and disgrace yourself for nothing. Why is it so? Because this dunya tusimmu bisihriha qawman wa tu'ma. Because it charms people in turning them into deaf and also blind, for them to see some small pleasure, thinking that, mashallah, tabarakallah, look at the cars, look at the houses. They then think that that is the best thing that will ever happen. He said, if you don't know, before you realize, following dunya, فَهُمْ مُتَحَيَّرُونَ بِلَا دَلِيلٍ. By following the dunya, you see them getting confused without any evidence. They're just following for following sake, like someone who is drunk. وَيَنْبَغِي لِأَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ أَنْ لَا يُذِلَّ نَفْسَهُ بِالطَّمْعِ فِي غَيْرِ مَطْمَعٍ. And he encourages a person who is seeking knowledge to not disgrace themselves and follow unnecessary thing which is worldly, that is does not have any qima, any benefit that the person can hold on to. وَيَتَحَرَّزْ أَمَّا فِيهِ مَظَلَّةُ الْعِلْمِ وَأَهْلِهِ. And also he encourages for a person to stay away, to protect themselves from wasting their time, the knowledge, and those who have the knowledge. وَيَكُونُ مُتَوَاضِعًا. When you're seeking knowledge, always be mutawadi', humble. Whatever Allah has given you, do not be proud, do not show off, do not feel like you're better than somebody. وَالتَّوَاضُعُ بَيْنَ التَّكَبُّرِ وَالْمَذَلَّةُ والعفة. Try to avoid being arrogant. Try to avoid trying to show off, feeling you are better than anyone. Always in all your affairs, try to be chaste and also purity. Purify yourself. Make sure whatever you do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيُعْرَفُ ذَلِكَ فِي كِتَابُ الْأَخْلَاقِ. If you want to know more about this sort of ethics and morals, you need to look at Kitab al-Akhlaq. In that book, they made mention of how we should run of our life to be able to maintain whatever we do for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also, we got another poem here, which also still is in emphasizing on what we do and how we do things. So he also saying here, إن التواضع من حصال المتقي وبه تقي إلى المعالي يرتقي. التواضع, humbleness, is one of the characteristics of al-muttaqi, someone who has iman, a pious person. وَبِهِ التَّقِيُّ إِلَى الْمَعَالِي يَرْتَقِي. That is what raised the status of a person with the iman. وَمِنَ الْعَجَائِبِ عُجْبُ مَنْ هُوَ جَاهِلٌ فِي هَالِهِ أَهُوَ سَعِيدٌ أَمْ شَقِيٌّ. And he said, وَمِنَ الْعَجَائِبِ. It is part of amazement, or like amazing to see a person who is ignorant person and he is proud. He does not even know his affairs. Ahua sa'idun, whether what he is doing, Allah is happy with it. Because if you don't do it the way Allah wants, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be interested in. So if you are jahil, how will you be sure that what you do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with it or not? So such a person, and we spoke about this in our previous lesson, to see a person that is religious but ignorant. They don't know what they do, whether it's good or bad, but they are always doing things for someone behind. They think, mashallah, this person is a religious person, but maybe what they're doing is totally wrong, just like the Christian will do. They are worshiping Allah more than anyone else, but in the wrong way. So you don't want to be in that company. Am kayfa yukhtamu umruhu aw ruhuhu yawm at-tawa mutasaffilun aw murtaqiyin. He does not know how his life is going to end, or his age or his soul, the day is going to be taken. Whether the day he will be taken, is he going to be among those that are down or those that are up in terms of iman? They don't know, because they are always trying to do things but not on the right way. وَالْكِبْرِيَاءُ لِرَبِّنَا صِفَةٌ بِهِ. He said, you see, the arrogance is part of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the only one that can be proud, because He has the power. He has the qudra. He is the only one that can say, yes, I, but to us, you are nobody. So we need to differentiate between that. If you are being arrogant, it said it's like you are trying to push Allah and take something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said it's sifa, is one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah is al-mutakabbir. To use this on anyone is an insult, but to Allah is an attribute. To Allah is an attribute. Makhsusatan. So he is saying that this attribute is only for the sake, is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So fatajannibha, stay away from that. Wa atqi, and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qala Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. Abu Hanifa is saying, Azzimu ama'imukum. He was talking to students of knowledge. Azimu ama'imukum. The sleeves of your shirts or your jalabiyah, make it bigger. Wa wasi'u. Azimu ama'imukum. Make your turbans big. Wa wasi'u akmamakum. And make the sleeves of your shirt big. That is how the scholars of the past, for those who know the jalabiyah that the Sudanese wear, you can see it's very wide in terms of, so those are the ideas they took. And also the turbans that they wear, those are where they took this idea. وَإِنَّمَا, doing that, قَالَ ذَلِكَ لَأَلَّا يَسْتَخَفُّوا بِالْعِلْمِ وَأَهْلِهِ. They did that so that they will not underestimate or undermine the scholars of knowledge. So you do that so that the knowledge will be respected, not you to present yourself. Now, very important. نعم. وينبغي لطالب العلم, it is also encouraged for student of knowledge, أن يحصل كتاب الوصية, try to read the book of وصية التي كتبها أبو حنيفة, the book that Abu Hanifa wrote regarding wasiya. There also you will see some characters that a person is encouraged to have. This book has been written long time ago, and students of the past have read it and they encourage their students to do so. So inshallah, we will stop here in this. Next lesson we will take فصل في اختيار العلم والأستاذ والشريك والثبات عليه, the chapter of selecting the knowledge and also selecting the teacher and also selecting the companion in studying and also steadfastness on it. So we'll be looking at this inshallah, so that we can at least build on those sort of character regarding our seeking knowledge. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.